clicked on your link, so that's really you. Okay, so that's really you. So why don't you come up, Ferris? Because you now know, right? Because you now know that after this is done, I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to put on it, Ferris was scared to talk to me. Ferris was not willing to have a conversation. Ferris was not being genuine in regards to an actual conversation, but instead keeps on slandering, saying, I got to learn how to read, can't know dates, and playing games. So why don't you come up, Ferris? See, Ferris, it would have been better if you didn't comment at all. See, now you've made yourself look bad, right? You've made yourself look bad. Honestly, you need to stop commenting, because the more comments you do, it's going to be really bad, right? So you should have never commented. It's almost like when Jesus said it would have been better if Judas would have never been born, right? But now you have a perfect opportunity to join a live discussion, which I did a rebuttal refuting you on James 2, showing that James 2 does not refute faith alone, but demonstrates true faith will be vindicated by what we do, i.e. works. So why don't you come up?
I'm going from memory, but yeah, like when you start to really dive into the scriptures, it should be quite obvious that these things are just not there, you know. And it's unfortunate, but again, I expect to get battled all the time. I just love the scriptures. I love the word of God, and when I see something that's very contrary to it, you know, I have to say something.
Yeah, give me just 1 second here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to do something here real quick. So my friend, How to Be a Christian, is here, it looks like. How you doing, Ferris? Just going to remove you for 1 second. I'll bring you right back there, buddy. So Ferris, if you can see this, and you said, Kelly, can you let me know what day comes after March 31st? That would be called April 1st. I'd like to ask you a question. When you look at my video, Ferris, what date was it on? March 31st. So when you said earlier on the comment, I need to go find it now, so give me 1 second here. Where'd your comment go? There it is. There it is. And you said, quote, I'll put it right up here to be seen. Kelly, I did see your video. Actually, I checked the date when it was uploaded because I wasn't sure if it was on April a Fool's joke. That's seriously something that happened. So it wasn't uploaded. It was streamed live. It was streamed live. So how about this? Good to have you here, man. Got a few minutes? Got a few minutes, Ferris? You'd like to come up for a chat at all? There's the link. You're here. Would you like to come up for a few minutes? Maybe you can correct me. Come up on the mic and correct me. Help me understand. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I read it pretty slowly earlier. So why don't you come up and explain it? I pinned the link out there. The link is pinned, Ferris. I'll treat you with respect. I promise. Why don't you come up for a little bit? Take a few minutes. 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you got. If you don't want to use video, that's fine. Come on up, Ferris. Have a conversation. Let's chat. If I'm wrong, then you can correct me. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. Be more than willing to be corrected. So we're waiting on you. Come on, buddy. I don't want to say rude words to you, but I mean, you have a perfect opportunity right now to click the link and to come up. Instead of taking these little jabs saying, you can do it, Kelly, give it a shot, try to read, that's kind of being snarky and prideful and kind of showing some arrogance there. So why don't you come up, have a conversation? Here's your time. Open invitation. You can come up. I promise you I won't call your mom a whore or attack you or call you a satanic rabid dog like Sam Buffoon does. I'll treat you with respect. You're here. You're in the live chat. You can click the link. You know how to use a computer. You know how to use a camera. You know how to do all that stuff. Come on up. Instead of doing these little insults, so you're showing yourself to be a buffoon now. You're being very disingenuous, right? Your comment, again, says, quote, I did see your video. I actually checked the date when it was uploaded because I wasn't sure if it was on April Fool's joke. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean because it wasn't uploaded. It was live streamed and it was on March 31st, not April. So why don't you come up, Ferris? If you can attack and misrepresent people like Mike Winger and misrepresent things that I'm saying now and misrepresent Durbin, and even though I'm not a Calvinist, you don't have the kahunas to come up and have a conversation? I mean, seriously, you're right here. If you were doing a live stream and you said, Kelly, I think you've misrepresented me. Kelly, I think you're wrong on such and such. And you gave me a link, I would bring you right up. Or sorry, I would go right to your conversation. So why don't you join, Ferris? Give me a good reason. Why won't you join? You obviously have been here now for 5 plus 10 minutes now. So you can't tell me it's a time thing because you've already been here. You know how to use a computer. You probably know your computer better than I do. So unless you actually come up, it actually does show you're scared. And I don't know why. Why won't you have a real conversation openly? If you're right, then why wouldn't you want to have the opportunity to come over and respond? I mean, I don't understand. It seems like it's a no-brainer to me, right? It's a no-brainer. I just want to make sure, is this really you? Oh yeah, it's really you. Okay. I just clicked on your link, so that's really you. Okay, so that's really you. So why don't you come up, Ferris? Because you now know, right? Because you now know that after this is done, I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to put on it, Ferris was scared to talk to me. Ferris was not willing to have a conversation. Ferris was not being genuine in regards to an actual conversation, but instead keeps on slandering, saying, I got to learn how to read, can't know dates, and playing games. So why don't you come up, Ferris? See, Ferris, it would have been better if you didn't comment at all. See, now you've made yourself look bad, right? You've made yourself look bad. Honestly, you need to stop commenting, because the more comments you do, it's going to be really bad, right? So you should have never commented. It's almost like when Jesus said it would have been better if Judas would have never been born, right? But now you have a perfect opportunity to join a live discussion, which I did a rebuttal refuting you on James 2, showing that James 2 does not refute faith alone, but demonstrates true faith will be vindicated by what we do, i.e., works. So why don't you come up? Why do you keep throwing these little accusations, right? Like your little comments here. I'm just going to scroll back up here. What'd you say? Try reading the comment again, Kelly. Remember what day comes after March 31st. Well, Christmas comes after March 31st. Thanksgiving comes after March 31st. 4th of July comes after March 31st. I mean, here's again, you can do it. Give it a shot. Try to read. See, those are little ridiculous little jabs. So unless you actually come up here, you're demonstrating to the people here now that you're not willing to have a conversation. Why won't you do that? I'm giving you an opportunity. I'll even let you talk for like 5 straight minutes if you want, and then I respond. What's the problem, Ferris? What's the problem? Why won't you come up? Why won't you come up? Humble here says, I understand someone turns down a live conversation, one-on-one fashion. Exactly. So why is Ferris not being willing to have a conversation? I don't understand. Ferris? Did Ferris take my advice and stop commenting because he realized how bad that looked on him? I'm assuming you did, because you really made yourself look bad now. But I guess they always say on YouTube, you know, right? So you type out, do you seriously understand? Do you not seriously understand that I'm asking you again to come up? Ferris. I'm now going to treat you like Bueller. Bueller. Anyone? Come on up, Ferris. Let's talk about James 2. Let's talk about faith alone. Let's talk about faith plus works. Here's your opportunity. If I'm wrong, you have a golden opportunity right now to take 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever, to demonstrate why I'm wrong in what I shared in my video. Right? You have the perfect opportunity now. Perfect opportunity. Why don't you come up? Come up and refute me on the analogy of the batteries. Come up and refute me on the issue of the remote. No, there's no mistake. Tell me what my mistake was. How about this, Ferris? Since you're not willing and man enough to come up here on a friendly conversation, to have a cordial conversation, type out what you think my mistake was. What's my mistake? Ferris? What's my mistake? What's my mistake right here? You said, I'm guessing you realize your mistake in just 1 minute. What's my mistake, Ferris? What's my mistake? What's my mistake? If you're right, I'll openly admit it. Someone said, my mistake was thinking he'd come up. That's funny. Ferris, this is your opportunity. Come up. Show me my mistake. Type it out. What's my mistake, Ferris? I don't understand why you won't come up and join. The link is there. If you had an open mic on your channel and you asked me to come up, I would come up right then. If you said I was misrepresenting you, I would come up and do it. See, why won't he come up? Why won't he come up? Shouldn't be that hard. You're a smart guy, or at least you think you are with what you do with your videos, right? So you have knowledge. I guarantee you, everybody listening, listen carefully, listen. I guarantee you, if this was Mike Winger's channel, guarantee you, if this was Mike Winger's channel, and Mike Winger put in a link and said, Ferris, come on up, I guarantee you Ferris would jump at that heartbeat. Guarantee you. Why won't you come up here? See, this is the dishonesty of people on YouTube. I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt, but obviously it seems that I think, being too gracious. You see, if someone's willing to do a video critiquing anybody, if anyone is willing to do a video critiquing anyone, right? And you have an opportunity to even address that person in a live conversation. You can come up, you don't have to use a camera. If you have that opportunity, why wouldn't you do it? Right? Why wouldn't you do it? If I was critiquing somebody, like I've done many times, right? And someone said to me, Kelly, I'll give you an opportunity. Let's do it. So why don't you come up here and explain it? What did I get wrong? Explain it. Type it out for us, Ferris. Ferris, type it out. What did I get wrong? Type out what I got wrong. Since you're not willing to come up like a man and come on the channel and have a respectful conversation, since you got to hide behind these little snarky comments, Tell me what I got wrong in the live chat then. I don't read brains. I don't read minds. Type it out, what I got wrong. Type it out. Type out the answer. It shouldn't be that complicated. What did I get wrong? I just don't understand why these people are like this. Why are they cowards? Like, why do you hide behind your screen? And you can do all those fancy editing things, manipulate, twist things, give wrong interpretations of what people are saying. And then when someone actually calls you out on it, you hide behind your screen. And then you say little snarky comments in the live chat, but you can't even back that up. You haven't proved anything in the live chat other than you're very evasive and you don't answer questions. So again, what did I get wrong? What did I get wrong with what I said? Does anybody in here think this guy is genuine? Anybody? Okay, Ferris, tell us. There's the comment. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me what I got wrong, Ferris. Come on, Ferris. Tell us what I got wrong. What did I get wrong, Ferris? This is your last chance. I've given you a zillion opportunities to either join me on the mic in the live stream or to answer a single question in the live chat. What is my mistake? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And what's your point? What's your point? What's your point? What's your point? What's the point? It's so funny he can be so wordy, so sharp, so cool with all his slides and challenge people on his videos, but he can't come and have a real conversation with somebody live. He's not willing to have a conversation on faith alone. He's not willing to come up here and have a conversation on James 2. Instead, he wants to play word games in live chat and not even address what's even being asked. No, I'm definitely not blocking him. Oh, no, I won't give him that pleasure. I'd love to, but I won't. Because this is going to show that he is chicken. He's a coward. He can hide behind a screen and do all those things, misrepresent people in his videos, but he can't come and have a normal conversation and actually prove what he believes. Oh, I'm definitely not blocking him. I'm letting him type for all of his glory. Because I actually hoped that he was actually going to be genuine. I really did. I hoped that he was going to be legit. That's why I asked him numerous times in the comment section before, If he willing to have a conversation, he never responded. That's why I asked in my video a few days ago on March 31st, but he's not genuine. He's not serious. He's disingenuous. And he's a deceiver. That's what he's turned out to be. And you can tell by the way he comments here. I mean, it's an absolute joke. And he still hasn't answered. You still have not answered. What's the mistake? What was my mistake, Ferris? If you can demonstrate what my mistake was, you win. I'll become a Catholic. What was my mistake, Ferris? Tell me what my mistake was. What was my mistake, Ferris? You tell me and you prove it, and I was wrong, I will become a Catholic. My wife is going to hate me, but that's okay. What was my mistake, Ferris? What was my mistake? What was my mistake, Ferris? Yeah. What was my mistake? You said it earlier. I put it up on the screen. I showed it. What's my mistake, Ferris? What did I do? Some of you guys are funny in your comments. All right. So I'm going to now, where's it at here? Where did my video go? Here we go. All right. I'm going to block you now, but I will unblock you later. Just because enough is enough. So I'm going to put you on hide anyway. So you're going to be put on hidden now, but I will unblock you after the stream is done. So that way you can comment another time and make an absolute fool of yourself as you did today with your ridiculous comments. So, folks, this is the problem with people like Ferris, who can hide behind his computer, hide in the live chat, not have the bravery to come up and have a normal, respectful conversation, which he has openly challenged people like Mike Winger and Jeff Durbin and other people, and he misrepresents those guys. He twists what they say, which I exposed him in my previous video, for any of you out there listening. And he says in his comments about me, he says that I didn't respond to him. He says that I didn't actually respond to what was being quoted or said, which I did. And I refuted pretty much everything he claimed in his video. Gave him opportunity, countless opportunities to come up, to have a conversation, to defend his views on faith plus works, because he rejects the biblical gospel that we are saved by grace through faith. It's a gift of God. He believes that you must have works to be saved and to stay saved, and that's a false gospel. So you had a perfect opportunity, Ferris, and you blew it. Shame on you. Shame on you. All right. Humble, I'm going to bring you back up, brother. How you doing, brother?
But I'm actually, it's funny when we link up sometimes and we get to talk about these things. I'd like to take a moment to thank God for actually what occurred, believe it or not, because we were just talking about how as Christians, if we're going to keep saying things about one another and so forth, we should be able to have a conversation. So I was actually ready to go drop back to the comment section because I thought we were going to see an example of the name of the individual you're speaking of, how to be a Christian. So you know what, we have a disagreement on something doctrinal or so forth, and we're going to talk. And then you know that I put the comments in the private chat. That would be great if he comes up. I'll happily just drop and go back to the comments.
That's right.
And then out of nowhere,
words was, I hope he joins, and if he does, I will drop.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, we had the conversation about Christians being able to speak to each other. He comments, I say I'll drop, and then he doesn't come up. I'm telling you, God has this funny way of exposing who we are. It's very funny. That's why I tell people, just don't go exposing yourself on the internet, because
he would have been better if he would have never commented.
I agree. I actually agree. I would have.
He would have never commented and showed that he was here live.
Yeah.
This would not exposed him, but now because he's been exposed publicly in a live stream, you can't take that back.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one thing to be a keyboard warrior, yet mic shy. I mean, most of the time I'm actually on other channels, so I just think it's priceless. You know what I mean? I don't even.
We were talking about that before, how many people have their channels and they say things, they accuse people, or they think they're debunking somebody, but they don't actually have a conversation with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we were talking about that before, saying, you know what, if you're going to do videos critiquing anybody, and then that person comes along, you should be willing to engage with that person.
Amen. I've said people.
Ferris had a perfect opportunity to engage with me because he criticized me things in the comment section that were not true. He could have easily came up and proved his point, but he didn't.
Amen. And I've said so that people are clear, because most people won't know me here. I'm much smaller than you and others. I actually have said this.
You're very muscular, man. Don't.
I've actually said this about people that I like doctrinally, or I should say more so people that I agree with doctrinally and people that I disagree with doctrinally. I'm consistent on this point. If you consistently are going to call someone out repeatedly, then you should have a conversation with them. I just think that's the Christian thing to do, especially if they offer it in a one-on-one fashion and or on a neutral platform. Either way, but if they say it's a one-on-one fashion, I really want to talk to you about this doctrinal disagreement, and they can just say things, comment, do all this. Their Twitter fingers are always in turbo speed. But as soon as they get the open opportunity, with everybody willing to clear out, except for the two people who want to engage in a doctrinal discussion, and they run from it, I always have to comment on that, and I think it's not Christian. I'd rather you just not address the person.
I've done videos addressing people like Joe Heschmeyer. I've done videos addressing Brian Mercier. I've done videos addressing Jimmy Akin. I mean, I could go down the line of people that I've done videos critiquing, and if all of a sudden they popped up, and said, "Hey, Kelly, I'm here. I want to have a conversation with you," and I said, "No, right?
Right.
I'm an idiot." Or if I was on their channel and they saw me in the live chat and they said, "Hey, Kelly, hey, you're doing such, you know what? Come up, let's have a conversation." And I just stayed in a live chat playing games like Ferris did a little while ago. I look like an idiot.
Agreed. Especially when they offered the open mic. Like you actually said, "Hey, I opened the mic up. Somebody said this, then they commented. We would just talk about people to communicate. And then it's like, hey, okay, come on up and we'll discuss our doctrinal differences." and then nothing. The same repeated thing. Again, like I said, it's crazy how it reminds me of this saying I heard about social media years ago. And technically YouTube is social media, but in social media, what I used to say is the cool trick about social media is it makes people spy on themselves. The cool trick I'm learning about YouTube is it makes people expose themselves.
It's true. It's true.
For real.
I mean,
I'm actually learning.
He had a perfect opportunity to come up, defend not only what he was accusing me of, to defend faith alone is not true, to refute it, to prove faith plus works is necessary. Perfect opportunity, and he completely failed.
Right. And then I'm sure you would have let him share the conversation on his channel. I'm sure you would have no objections.
Well, like I said, I would give him 5 straight minutes if he wanted to. I would have let him talk, and then I would have responded.
It's just so disappointing with a name like that as well. For me personally, I mean, it just is.
Well, it's a disingenuous name. It should be How to Be Catholic, because he's definitely not Christian.
Oh, shots! Oh, I love it. I love it. I was actually I don't have any sound effects, but right now I know CK's in the audience. I'd love his machine gun right about now. But I mean, you're not.
How about this? We'll say we'll give him this one. So he claims to be a Christian, but he's really a Catholic, and hides behind the screen, but opportunity to do it. He needs to change his channel from How to Be a Christian to How to Be. No, I was going to say something else.
Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No. I'll leave it alone. I don't want to be fleshly, but I mean,
yes, that's
he had perfect opportunity.
That's my point. That's
perfect opportunity. He ran. Perfect opportunity. He ran. He chickened out, whatever the right reason is, whatever it is, he had perfect opportunity, and he didn't give any explanation. Oh, I can't right now. I'm at my mommy's house, or I'm in the hospital visiting, whatever. He didn't give any at all, anything. He just kept playing games.
Yeah, well, and he could have said, listen, I'm unavailable today. I'm happy to link up with you another time. He could have said anything like I worked late the other night. Somebody wanted me to come to a channel.
Yep.
To discuss baptism stuff, and I was exhausted, so I left a comment on the video and said, "Hey, I've been working late. I couldn't show up, but
that's another good point.
Next time,
in other words, right there, in other words, if we can't talk now, he should easily said, you know what, let's talk another time. But he never gave any of that at all. It was just all a game for him.
Right. And then to claim you're bullying him, which is really weird, because if there's a discussion doctrinally that needs to be had, how can I be bullying you? Also, how am I going to bully you in a one-on-one setting? All you got to do is hit disconnect or whatever. You just hit leave studio. Like, it's not, again, these things don't make sense to me.
Calling someone out and challenging them and giving them an opportunity, a platform to come up and defend their views or prove their views is not being a bully. It's being genuine.
Yeah, it's being genuine. And I'd say it's being Christian to offer to have that conversation for the doctrinal benefit of the body.
Yeah,
I think that's nothing. And actually, it's funny because I saw this happen with another friend of mine, another YouTuber, and a Unitarian called him out. And so he went to, while the Unitarian's calling him out, he goes to the channel and tries to join. And they say, oh, no, you can't join right now. So they never offered him a different time or anything. Like I said, YouTube will definitely expose people. And again, it just shows to me his confidence in the nature of what he wasn't willing to discuss, and the genuine nature of the individual himself, because again, you could always reschedule things. You could say, look, I'm happy to discuss this, not today, I have something going on, whatever. But no, just communicate, keep saying the same thing, so forth. It's wild. It's a wild
and
place.
The funny thing is right now he's hidden in YouTube land, but he could easily still click the StreamYard, so he can easily still come up and say, you know what, Kelly, let's go a couple of rounds, but he still hasn't popped up. He still hasn't popped up.
And again, just one more time for the audience who may not know me, I have said this about people that I doctrinally agree with and those I don't. If you repeatedly call someone out, repeatedly, and then they say, let's have a discussion, and you find every reason not to, I would just suggest not to call them out and let it go, because you're the one looking real suspect in that case. Yeah. If you repeatedly go after an individual and you say, this individual, and then, all right, let's talk. Crickets.
Yeah.
Track shoes.
Well, that's why, like I said earlier, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I thought maybe he might be willing to actually have a genuine conversation instead of being snarky and deceptive, as he obviously was in the live chat. Want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he unfortunately failed, and so it showed me his true colors, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So any future videos I do now of him, I'll be even harder than I was going to be before. So because it showed he's actually a charlatan trying to act like he's a Christian.
Yeah, exposed is all I
That's
can
it
say.
right there. He's a charlatan trying to act like a Christian with a channel called How to Be a Christian, but really it is I'm a charlatan. A cha-ching!